My Forex fund pro firm is a fraud. Yes, it's a fraud. And I'm not the one saying it. CFTC, Commodity Feature Trading Commission, is the one saying it. And I have all the details, all the information that has been provided to prove this point. And as I speak, there is a lawsuit or a court case pending between CFTC and my Forex fund. So let's look at what the complaints are, what CFTC have found out. And because of that, decided to take my Forex fund to court. What are the court sermons? What do they say? I have every detail here in this video for you. But there's good news for us traders who ever signed up with my Forex fund and have paid a fee or whatsoever to them by way of getting their evaluation. Now, the good news is that if CFTC, which is Commodity Feature Trading Commission, should win this court case, what it means is that all of us who sign up with them and paid certain amount of fees are going to receive what we call a refund. Yes, we are all going to receive our monies back. And that is the good news. And that's the good aspect of it. But let me walk you through the whole reason. And I'm sure you'll come to learn a lot in this video. I tell you, I promise you that this whole court case has come up at the right time. And it is giving us an information you need. And so stick around and watch this video to the end. Now, the sermons is about 40-page document. And let me take you to that document, first of all, because that is the basis for our discussion today. Now, here we are. This is the sermons. This is the court sermons. This is it. It's a 40-page document. If I take you through it, it's a 40-page document. I have the whole court sermons here. So let's look at the top of it. Just take your time. You know that a 40-page document will take a lot of time, but I am not going to waste your time that much because we will not be reading the whole document. We will only read maybe the summary. Okay, the summary is only what I'll read. Is that okay? So now, this is the detail. It says United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. The plaintiff, that means the complainant or the complaint, is Commodity Feature Trading Commission, CFTC. They have summoned who? The defendants. Let's look at them. Traders Global Group, Inc., a New Jersey corporation, DBDA, my Forex funds, in quotes. And then Traders Global Group, Inc., a Canadian business organization. And the third person is who? That's Murtuza Kazmi. Murtuza Kazmi. Now, these are the defendants, but let me explain quickly. Now, these companies, Traders Global Group, Inc., is a company in the US, New Jersey. And then there is a similar company also in Canada, which is also Traders Global Group, Inc. And these two companies, which is Traders Global Group, Inc., in New Jersey, US, and also in Canada, is owned by one person called Murtuza Kazmi, or Murtuza Kazmi, whatever you call it. That is the man who owns these two companies. And these two companies decided to roll out a program called My Forex Funds. You get a catch? So these two companies, one in US, the other one in Canada, owned by the same person, Kazmi, decided to roll out a program called My Forex Fund. So that is how come all these three names or four names are popping up. So Traders Global in New Jersey are being summoned. Traders Global in Canada are being summoned. And then My Forex Fund, which is the program that they rolled out, definitely there should be people who will be in affairs. So those people are also summoned. And then the owner or the CEO or the director, who is the CASB man who owns these companies, is also summoned. So these are the defendants going to face Commodity Feature Trading Commission. Now, the details of it here, if you want the details of Commodity Feature Trading Commission, these are the details, and the people who are kind of standing in for traders, Commodity Feature Trading Commission. These are the people standing in for them. And then these are the defendants. Also, their details are also here. Now, like I said, we will only deal with the summary. Now, when you go to the website of CFTC, which is this one, they have released a publication to that effect. And this publication here is talking about this whole sermons that we are going to deal with. So if you come to CFTC, their official website, which is Commodity Feature Trading Commission, there's a release there, September 1st, 2023, which was on Friday. They released this, that court issues restraining order instituting asset freeze. CFTC charges my Forex funds with fraudulently taking over $300 million from customers hoping to become professional traders. Wow. And all the details you will need will be in the summary, which is here. And this is where we are going to learn a lot. So take your time, and then let's look at the court sermons, what the court sermon says. All right? So only the summary. Number one, okay, we are taking the summary, and we are looking at the number 1 point. It says that during the period starting at least November 2021. So it means that CFTC is saying that they have gathered information about my Forex fund from November 2021 till present or till currently. So during the period starting at least November 2021 and continuing through the present, so up to date, that is the relevant period. That is the time that they are looking at this case. Is that okay? So that's the relevant period over here. So that's the time duration. Defendants, which happens to be Traders Global Inc. or Traders Global Group Inc., a New Jersey corporation, into bracket Traders Global US, and then Traders Global Group Inc., a Canadian business organization, which is also Traders Global Canada. So the jurisdiction is what is making the difference. But these two companies are owned by the same person. Okay. Together, Traders Global. So when they put these two together, Traders Global and Motuza Kazmi, collectively the defendant. So this is the owner of these two companies, one in US, the other one in Canada. They are saying that they engaged and continue to engage in a large-scale fraud scheme involving leverage, margined, or financial retail foreign exchange, which is called retail Forex, and retail commodity transactions, which is in violation of the Commodity Exchange Act. So CFTC is saying that this group of companies have involved or have come up with some kind of business which is against violation of Commodity Exchange Act. So it's against the Commodity Exchange Act, which is Act 7 USC page 1 to 26. And the activities of these companies also and accompanying commission regulations. So it's also against the commission's regulations, which is regulation 17 CFR PTS 1 to 90, 2022. So CFTC is saying that this defendants, which is Traders Global, and then my Forex fund, which is their company, they have involved themselves in some activities which is against two acts One is Commodity Exchange Act. The other one is the Commission's regulations. They have violated these rules. Now, it is getting interesting, right? Let's go to their point number 2. We'll get to know how they violated the rules that they are talking about. Is that okay? Point number 2. Let's continue. It says that Traders Global, doing business as my Forex funds and acting through its principals, agents, and employees, including the defendant, which is Kazmi, who is the CEO himself or the owner of the companies, offers retail customers the opportunity to become professional traders. So they offer you and I an opportunity to become professional traders, in quotes, by using Traders Global's money to trade against third party, which is liquidity providers, in quotes, and sharing in any profit or any trading profits. So they are saying that this, my Forex fund and Global or Traders Global have violated these rules that is stated above, because they have decided to involve in a fraudulent business they called my Forex fund, where they promised you and I the opportunity to become professional traders by giving us their money. Listen carefully. This is where you need to get the whole catch. By giving us their money, so that we will use their money to trade against the third parties, which is the liquidity providers. And then whatever profit that we make as retail traders, we will share the profits together. Do you get what CFTC is saying? This is what they said they have discovered. Now, who are the third parties? This is where you need to learn a lot in these sermons. Who are the third parties or the liquidity providers? Who are they? Let me take you to the liquidity providers quickly. Now, these are the liquidity providers. And I am going to mention them one by one and the kind of liquidity they provide. So whenever you are about to take a trade, you are trading against these guys. These are the liquidity providers that you trade against them every day when you open your MT4 or your MT5 or whichever platform that you use to trade, whether TradingView or whatsoever. Whenever you place a buy or a sell in the market on any currency, these are the guys you are trading against them. We have the Deutsche Bank. They provide the highest or the biggest liquidity in the Forex market. Their liquidity is around 23.4%. This is the total liquidity they provide. The Deutsche Bank, 23.4% in terms of liquidity. Followed by the USB. The USB Bank, they provide about 14.6% of liquidity. The next is the Barclays Capital, which is the same as the Barclays Bank. They provide 14.4% of liquidity. The next is the Citibank. They provide 10% of liquidity. The next is the Royal Bank of Scotland. They provide 8.4% of liquidity. And then we have the JP Morgan Chase and Co. They provide 8.2% of liquidity. We have the next bank, which is the HSBC Bank. They provide 5.9% of liquidity. Followed by the Credit Suisse. The Credit Suisse, they provide 5.8% of liquidity. And then the Goldman Sachs. The Goldman Sachs, they also provide 5.5% of liquidity. And then the last one is the Morgan Stanley Bank. They provide 3.8% of liquidity. So these are the banks that we trade against every day. These are the liquidity providers. They provide us with the price. So when you open your MT4 or you open your MT5 and you see the price of the currencies changing, these are the guys giving the changes. These are the guys who are kind of changing or moving the price the way they want. These are the guys. So whenever you are trading against these guys. Now it's getting interesting, right? So the complainant is saying that, which is CFTC, is saying that, let's go back to the sermons. The complainant is saying that Traders Global, doing business as my Forex fund and acting through its principal agents and employees, including defendants, the Casby, who is the CEO or the owner of the companies, offers retail customers, which is you and I, the opportunity to become professional traders using Traders Global's money to trade against third party, which is the liquidity providers. And we're sharing in any trading profits. So they are ready to give us their money. And then we will use the money to trade against the liquidity providers that I've just talked about. And then whatever profit we will make, we will share the profit with them because they are giving us the money. So this is what CFTC said they found. It's not ending there. Let's continue. What does it say? In return for the opportunity, so for us to get that opportunity, so for you and I to get the opportunity of getting their money to trade against the liquidity providers, customers pay certain fees to Traders Global. So they have what we call evaluation. So before you and I will get the opportunity to access their funds, before we get access to their money to trade against these liquidity providers, they test us. They put us to test where we pay some fees to them. So in return for the opportunity, customers pay certain fees to Traders Global and are required by Traders Global to maintain a certain minimum amount of account equity. So there are some rules, according to the CFTC, there are some rules that Traders Global give to us to follow. And once we are able to follow those rules, then it means we are qualified to receive their money to trade against the liquidity providers. So the rules that they give us, they said it is referred to as a drawdown limit. So you are not supposed to lose to a certain amount in terms of the evaluation. So when you lose more than that amount of money, it means you have lost the challenge. It means you are not qualified. Although you have paid some amount of money to them as what? Fees. Do you get the understanding? Now they are saying that Traders Global assure customers that your success is our business, in quotes. So Traders Global assures us, we the retail traders, that our success is their business. So it means their goal is for us to succeed. Don't forget this point. It is a very critical point, of which is making CFTC to sue these people. So CFTC is saying that Traders Global, through their program called My Forex Fund, said that our success is their business. So it means that they are looking at our interest, how we will succeed. Not only that, and we only make money when you do. This is where the whole problem is. So CFTC is saying that they realize that Traders Global, which is running a program called My Forex Fund, promised us that our success is their business. And we only make money when they make money. So it means that when we succeed, that is when they will also succeed. When we are able to make profit, that is when they will also be making profit. So it means if we don't make profit, it means they also don't make profit. And that is what CFTC have found out to be a big lie. Take your time, we'll get there. So CFTC said this is what they discovered, that this is the pitch they have given to us. This is the publication. This is the advertisement that Traders Global used My Forex Fund to tell us. And what has happened? Let's continue. It's getting interesting, right? So Traders Global's pitch has proven appealing to customers. So we, the retail traders, upon seeing this advertisement, we are all enthralled. We are all kind of very happy, and we are moved to actually subscribe or to pay them or to enter into the business or to enter into the program with them. And what is CFTC saying? It's saying that Traders Global pitch has proven appealing to customers. And how many customers? More than 135,000 of them sign up during the relevant period. So the relevant period, you remember, November 2021 up to present, about 135,000 customers have signed up to my Forex fund, which is Traders Global. And this 135,000 people have paid a certain amount of money as fees. And this is the amount they paid in total. Paying at least $310 million in fees. This is very huge. According to CFTC, this is the money that the 135,000 retail traders have paid to Traders Global or my Forex fund. This is big money. $310 million. This is huge. This is huge. Okay. Hang on. We haven't finished. We are still on the summary. Let's continue the case. Point number 3. Let's continue. What is point number 3 saying? It says that Traders Global is a fraud. Point number 3. CFTC is saying that Traders Global is a fraud. In reality, why are they saying they are a fraud? Listen carefully. CFTC is saying that Traders Global, you are a fraud. Why? In reality, Traders Global, which is not a third party or liquidity provider, because you have already seen the liquidity providers here. I have already showed you the liquidity providers here, and you didn't see Traders Global here. You also didn't see my Forex fund here as a liquidity provider. Good. And CFTC is saying that Traders Global is a fraud. Why are they a fraud? In reality, Traders Global, which is not a third party or a liquidity provider, is the counterparty to substantially all customer trades. This is English, and I'll explain. CFTC is saying that Traders Global, you are a broker. You are not a liquidity provider. And we as traders, we as retail traders, we're supposed to trade against only the liquidity providers. It means when you take a buy on maybe Euro USD, any of the liquidity providers here will have to take a sell against us. When you take a buy on any currency, these guys here, one of them will take a sell against us. Now, let me explain. This is where you will understand the work of brokers. Now, when it comes to Forex brokers, they are supposed to be middlemen, okay? And as middlemen, what they're supposed to do is that they're supposed to pick feed from these liquidity providers here. The ones you are seeing here, these people here. They are supposed to pick feed from them and give us the feed, which we see on the platforms we use, which is the MT4, MT5. The feed that you see there, the broker is only helping you to see that feed from these guys here. And then based on that feed, you will take a decision. So when you take a decision to say, okay, I want to buy Euro USD, and then you place Euro USD buy, the broker is supposed to pass you on to the liquidity providers who are trading against you. So when you take a buy, the broker who is in the middle is supposed to pass you on to these guys. Either the Deutsche Bank, the USB Bank, or the Barclays Capital, or the Citibank, or the Royal Bank of Scotland, or the JP Morgan Chase & Co. All these guys, the broker is supposed to pass your trade on to them. And then they will take opposite of you. So what it means is that when you are making profits, it means any of these liquidity providers is losing. And whenever you are losing, it means any of these liquidity providers are making profits. Do you get the understanding? So the brokers are supposed to pass us on. They're supposed to pass our trades on to these guys here. That is why we have two types of brokers. which is called the deal index brokers, and then the no deal index brokers. The deal index brokers, I have already talked about all this in my videos on this channel. So the deal index brokers, what they do is that they do this passing on of your trades to these guys here manually. That is why we call them deal index. This means they have a desk on which they do the mapping, or they pass you on to these guys here manually, the liquidity providers manually. They are called the deal index. And then we have the no deal index brokers. The no deal index brokers are called the ECN brokers. They don't have to do it manually. They have softwares that does this automatically. So once you place a trade, the ECN broker will pass you on to these liquidity providers automatically, because they are just middlemen. So because of their service, what they do, because of they passing you on to the liquidity providers and also providing you the feed from the liquidity providers, what they do is that they charge you a fee for their service. And the charge that they charge you is what we call the spread. They put a little number of pips on the price as spread, and then they take that as commission for themselves. Or they wouldn't put spread, but they will charge you outright. They have a fee. Maybe they will put 20 cents as a charge on the trade that they are helping you to pass you on to the liquidity providers. So these brokers, this is what they do. They don't actually trade against us. They are not supposed to trade against us. Brokers are not supposed to trade against us. They're supposed to pass us on to the liquidity providers, which is these guys. But what did my Forex fund do? What was the Traders Global people doing? Point number 3. My CFTC is saying that Traders Global, which happens to be a broker, is a fraud. And why are they fraud? Because in reality, Traders Global, which is not a third-party liquidity provider, in quote, they are not liquidity provider. They are not supposed to be trading against us. But what do? They end up trading against us, counterparty. So it means that when they give you the demo, the challenge account, the evaluation account, instead of any trade that you will place, instead of them passing you on to the liquidity providers, they don't do that. They rather take the trade against you. So someone who is promising you huge profit, someone who is saying that you only make money when they make, or they will only make money when you make, is your enemy. In this game, Traders Global is your enemy. I don't know if you understand what the CFTC is saying. So CFTC is saying that Traders Global, which is a broker that's supposed to be passing your trades on to the liquidity providers, is not doing that. They are rather trading against you. They are rather becoming your enemy. So if they are trading against you, do you think that they will want to make you win? Because when you win, it means they are losing. Just as I told you earlier, the liquidity providers, when you are making profit, it means those liquidity providers are losing. And when you are also losing, it means the liquidity providers are making profit. So if Traders Global, who is promising us that our success is their business, and they only make profit when we do, is rather trading against us, do you think that we will make profit? Because when we are making profit, it means Traders Global, who is trading against us, is losing. And they don't want to lose. So do you think that we will be making profits as they claim our success is their business? Do you think that as they claim that they will only make profits when you make profit is going to be possible? So it is based on this that CFTC is saying that my Forex fund, which is a program engineered by Traders Global, is a fraud. Is this clear? This is law. I wish I did some law. But I didn't do law, but this is the law here. So this is the information CFTC have found. That Traders Global, You are not liquidity providers. So you are not supposed to trade against us. You're rather supposed to pass us on to the liquidity providers so that when we make profit from them, then you and I can share, just as you promised. But they have realized that that is not the case. So they are rather trading against us. And because they are trading against us, because they have become our enemies, their promises cannot be fulfilled. Because they won't make us win. Because if we win, it means they are losing. And because they won't afford that, they can't afford that, they will make sure that they do all that they can to make us lose so that they will continue winning. So CFTC is going to explain some of the things that Traders Global does on a daily basis to make sure that you don't pass your evaluation. So that if you don't pass your evaluation, it means the fees that you pay to them is their profit. It remains with them. So they make sure that you don't pass evaluation. So when you sign up for maybe $10,000 account evaluation, they will make sure you lose it, because if they make you pass it, it means they are going to lose money to you. So they won't make you pass it. They will make you lose it. And then maybe you want to sign up again, and then sign up again, and then sign up again. Continue signing up, trying your luck to see that you can pass. Not knowing the person who is promising you heaven is actually the one taking you to hell. This is what CFTC have discovered. And because of that, out of the 135,000 people that have signed up with them from November 2021, CFTC says that Traders Global and My Forex Fund has been able to gather monies from us, which in total is about $310 million. $310 million. So they are a fraud. Now let's see how Traders Global is able to do this against us. Let's go in detail. We haven't finished. But this is interesting, right? Let's continue. It says that Traders Global does not, therefore, make money when customers make money. This is what they have found out. So Traders Global does not, therefore, make money when we make money. Because when we make money, we retail traders who have signed up. When we make money, they are losing. So Traders Global lose money when customers make money. This is what CFTC have found. Commodity Traders Features Trading Commission. Commodity Feature Trading Commission. I told you that this is the first regulatory body set up by the US government. Do you remember? In some of my videos. That is why I've always told you that if you haven't watched my videos, go back, take your time, and take the videos one by one, because you are missing a lot, and I want you to cover up. So go back to my videos and watch every video on this channel. I have talked about this institution already. If you don't know much about them, if you feel somebody is cheating you, a broker is cheating you and whatsoever, they are the people to report to. And they got this report and they are working on it. Let's continue. Just the sermons. Number 4. Point number 4. This is the summary. I told you it's a 40-page document, so we may not be able to read all. Traders Global pays customers who trade successfully. Listen. Traders Global pays customers who trade successfully. But substantially, all the payments come from fees paid by other customers in a manner similar to a Ponzi scheme, and not from the proceeds of profitable trading against liquidity providers. So point number 4 is saying that those traders who have made profit, who have made withdrawals in terms of passing the challenge, and they went ahead to get live account, they are saying that the profit that they cash out is actually monies that were collected from fees, the fees, because you are not actually trading against the liquidity providers. You are trading against they themselves. So when you win, they use their own monies, the one they collected from the other traders, the fees they collected, they use part of it to pay you. And CFTC sees this as a Ponzi scheme. Do you get it? That is it. Point number 5. Let me not waste time because there's more to talk about, okay? There's more to talk about. Let's continue. It says that, number 5, in order for Traders Global to generate profits, Traders Global has to collect more in fees that it pays to successful customers. In order to do this, Traders Global uses various devices to minimize the likelihood of profitable trading by customers and reduce the amount of profit Traders Global has to pay to successful customers. Did you get it? So because Traders Global is paying the few successful traders through the fees that they collect, they make sure that those successful traders, they limit how successful they even become. They make sure that they don't win more. They make sure that they don't win more so that more of their monies will not go away. Because the winning that you, the successful trader who is with them, is making is not from the liquidity providers. It's from they themselves because they are trading against you. So they will limit your way of making profits. It's raining. It's raining here at the moment. So maybe if the voice, you hear a lot of background noise, please forgive me. But I'm sure you can still hear me. So let me finish this once and for all. So they are saying that in order for Traders Global to generate a profit, Traders Global has to collect more in fees that it pays to successful customers in order to do this. So Traders Global uses various devices to minimize the likelihood of profitable trading by customers and reduce the amount of profit Traders Global has to pay successful customers. And they are going to explain how they do this. And that is very, very interesting. So let's look at it. Hey, let's see how these guys do this. It's very, very interesting. So let's see the devices quickly. Point number 5A. It says that Traders Global, if you read from here, Traders Global uses various devices to minimize the likelihood of profitability or profitable trading by customers and reduce the amount of profit Traders Global has to pay to successful customers. And these devices include A, using a drawdown limit as a bad faith pretext to terminate customers' account. So they use one of their devices called drawdown. They will tell you that you have hit your minimum or your maximum drawdown. So your account is closed. Sometimes you don't even know what happened. Before you realize your account is freezed, you can't access it. They tell you you have violated one of the rules. And you go to check and you see it is drawdown limits. According to CFTC, this is one of their devices to cut short and make sure you don't make profit. Now, the second tool they use is called misleading assertion Traders Global own commission to reduce customers' account equity. So they make sure they tell you that, oh, you have been charged this amount of commission on the trades that you took. And because the commission on the trades you took are so high, your equity is gone. They increase the spread so wide that before you realize you have exhausted equity, and then you receive a strike, and then your account is closed. Number 3, which is the C, they said they're secretly using a specialized software to stack the odds against customers by delaying execution of customers' orders. So when you place a buy, it has gone by already, but it will delay with them. And they will be, the price at which you will see as a feed will actually not be the price that you decided you wanted to buy. Let me give you a clear example. Let's say you saw the trade at a price of 5 and decided that you wanted to buy at that price. And then you bought at that price. It went successfully, but you realize that the trade didn't actually buy from 5. It bought from somewhere 8, or it bought from somewhere 9. You were planning to buy at 5. You bought hoping that the trade will start from 0.5. But after the trade got executed, you are told that the trade actually got bought at 0.8 or 9. It means that you have lost almost 3 to 4, because from 5, 6, 7, 8, which is about 3 pips already gone. I am just using this for the purpose of example. So a CFTC is saying that this is a tool, a specialized software they use at their back end to do this. And they make sure that you don't end up being profitable, because you are trading against them and not the liquidity providers. So they need to do everything possible to make sure you do not win. The next one they have seen is that executing the orders at worse price than appeared to the customers at the time and order. So it's the same thing. The time you saw, the price at which you saw, you took the trade all right, but you are given a different price as actually the price that you took, which according to CFTC is a wicked act by Traders Global, which includes my Forex fund. Let's look at the other ways. So executing the orders at worse price than appeared to customers at the time an order was sent, preferred as slippage. So I've explained that already. And sending orders from an extreme small number of successful customers to an overseas counterpart, then using specialized software to artificially increase the distance between the best bid or the offer, which is referred to as spread, to create the false appearance of decrease or to decrease the customer's profits and increase customers' loss. So they send the successful traders that are trading with them, when they place trades, they send it to a counterparty who is also a third-party trader somewhere, who is part of their scheme. Before they transfer the order to that overseas, there's already a big gap because your order is in waiting. And before they do all these things, you have received a big spread gap, making sure that if you were supposed to win maybe 100 pips on the trade, you end up winning maybe just 30 pips or 40 pips because they have taken the greater part of the pips as commission or as spread. So it limits you, the trader, how successful or the number of pips you can make. Does this also make sense? Okay. The last few points, let's read. It says the defendant scheme is a profitable one. That is what they have realized. They said that the scheme that my Forex fund people set up using global traders or Traders Global Broker has been a successful one. Why are they saying that? Because if you read from here, we are reading, during the relevant period from the fraud, during the relevant period, Traders Global has a net income. So listen carefully. They have made a net income of approximately $172 million. They collected fees from traders, which is about $310 million. And out of the $310 million, they disbursed part of the money again to the few successful ones. And then they end up having in excess $172 million as their profits. Wow. So if you subtract $172 million from $310 million, you know how much they paid back to the few successful traders. And you know how much they have left as their own profits. Oh my goodness, this world of Forex is something else. We need to be very careful. Now, it says that Kazmi used the proceeds. So this is the profit that the CEO made, which is Kazmi. He used the proceeds from the fraud to purchase luxury homes or luxury homes. He used the profit he has made, $172 million, to purchase luxury homes. And then automobiles. He purchased luxury homes and automobiles because his scheme is scheming people and bringing him money. And so he has to enjoy luxury. And then he's making tens of millions of dollars in transfers to his personal accounts. Pushing money into his personal account just like that, our own money. May thunder fire him. May the Holy Ghost fire him if this is true. Anyway, the case is in court, so I wouldn't say, but this is what CFTC is doing. I'm not sure CFTC will come out with these findings and they are just mere findings. To be honest, I'm sure CFTC have done their due diligence before taking the matter to court. Because how did they come by these figures? And how did they get to know all these things? They have proof, I'm sure. CFTC will not just take you to court if they don't have evidence. So it means they have evidence to back these claims that they are making against the defendant. So they are saying that based on these things, point 7 continues that the defendant's fraud scheme violated regulations and rules. Now the ones below are the rules that the whole scheme has violated. So when you continue reading, you see the rules that it violated, and it's about 40 pages document. And if you read the whole sermons, it's very interesting. But I'm not going to continue the rest. Now you have known why CFTC, which is this one here, this man here, decided to take my Forex fund or Traders Global to court. Now, I want you to listen here. Now, if I told you that if CFTC should win this case, we are going to get a refund. And it is here in their release. Let me read the release part, because it is also in the sermons, but because the sermon is so huge, about 40 pages, I won't be able to read all. So let me read the summary here to you. Okay. The summary is what I want to read for you to know the hope in case the CFTC should win this case. And I'm going to follow this case to the end because I will need to update you so that if there's going to be a refund, you know how to get the refund. Because initially I referred them to you as one of the good pro firms out there. I did because of their revenue. So it means that out of this Ponzi scheme, they paid me some of the monies. Sorry. I was even supposed to receive some monies this month from them as commission from the trades that I took. But unfortunately, it got locked up. So it means that they were going to pay me again with some of your monies, which they collected. This is not fair. But let's read what the summary here says. It says that the Commodity Future Trading Commission today announced it filed a complaint in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey against Matuza Kazmi, formerly of Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and his companies, which is Traders Global Inc., a New Jersey corporation, and Traders Global Inc., a Canadian business organization, all doing business as my Forex funds. The complaints charges them with fraudulently soliciting customers to trade leverage, margin, or financed retail foreign exchange, which is retail forex, and leverage retail commodities transactions. On August 29th, the U.S. District Court Judge Robert B. Kugler signed a statutory restraining order freezing the defendant's assets. So his asset has been frozen. So it means that all his assets, there is an embargo on it, requiring the defendant to submit their books and records to examination by the CFTC. So they are supposed to submit. Now, the court has placed a freeze or has frozen their assets. And the court is asking my Forex fund and then Traders Global to submit all their books. And these books, when they say books in Forex, it's all about the orders that were taken. All the orders of traders, the orders that you took, the buy, the sells, all that you took, they're supposed to submit records of it, including which, which liquidity provider, yes, including which liquidity provider they matched you to. All those records must be there. Do you get it? So assuming I was having a live account with them. Yes, I had a live account with them. So they're supposed to validate all the trades I took on my account. And then they check to see which liquidity provider did Traders Global match me to them, to trade with them. And since they may not have such evidence, because if they should even say they matched me, my trades to maybe Citibank, they will have to cross-check from Citibank whether they receive orders, because the orders that you place, they have numbers, they have codes. The codes can be verified. So they will use the codes of the trades each of us took from the demo or the evaluation stage to the live stage. And then they will verify those orders. And if my Forex fund doesn't have a third party that they matched us to, then it means they are at fault. So the court has frozen their assets or laid embargo on all their assets, both in the US and in Canada. And they are asking them to submit their books. So the books here means the orders. All the 135,000 traders that sign up with them, their orders, they should submit all those details to the CFTC. That is what has been done. So it says that, so requiring the defendant to submit their books and records to examination by the CFTC and appointing a temporary receiver. So they have appointed the CFTC as a receiver to do all those investigations. And then a hearing of the CFTC's motion for preliminary injunction is scheduled for September 11 before Judge Zahid N. Quraishi. That's the judge's name. If I don't mention it, well, that's okay. So on 11 September, today is 3rd September. Today is 3rd. So 9 more days to go for them to appear in court. It is in continuing litigation, the CFTC seeks restitution to defrauded investors. Listen to what CFTC is seeking. The CFTC seeks restitution to defrauded investors. So this is where the hope of all the investors are. When we say restitution, it's an English word. So let's see, meaning of restitution. Let's search for it. We are all learning. Restitution. Definition. Let's get it right. What's the meaning of restitution? Restitution, that's one, the restoration of something lost. You get it? So the restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner. The restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner. So CFTC here is it. So if you read a publication, this is where the hope is for all the traders who have signed up with my Forex fund. It says that the CFTC seeks restitution to defrauded investors. So all those who sign up with CFTC and couldn't pass their evaluation, including even those who passed, because they have not dealt with us faithfully, they're supposed to pay us back. And this augment of ill-gotten gains. So all the monies they got illegally, they are to disaugment it. And then after that, they will face civil monetary penalties. They are going to face extra charges on top of that. And then permanent trading and registration bans is also here. Permanent trading and registration bans. And then a permanent injunction against further violations of the Commodity Exchange Act. So this is where our hope is as traders. Is that okay? This is all where our hope is. This very paragraph here, this one here. And that is why I told you that I'm going to follow this matter to the end, because the outcome of the court will determine whether we will receive our monies back or not. So CFTC seeks restitution to defrauded investors. And then dislodgement of all the ill-gotten monies. They are to get it back to where it came from. They are to dislodge it. all the ill-gotten gains. And then after that, civil monetary penalty will be put on them. They are going to receive extra damages. Extra charges are going to be put on them. And then permanent trading and registration bans. So they are going to ban them permanently. They will no more exist. After that, and a permanent injunction against further violations of the Commodity Exchange Act. So this is where our hope is. So we'll keep an eye on the whole thing. Now, what has my Forex fund said to us? I want us to use that one as our final message. They also sent us messages. We, the traders, with them, they sent us messages. And I want us to look at the messages that they sent to us. This is what they sent to us. This is what CFTC sent to us. Okay? Customers, are you watching? This is what my Forex fund sent to us. Sorry, my Forex fund. My Forex fund is saying that traders, yesterday we learned that without prior notice or discussion, a provincial securities regulator in Canada and the commodities regulator in the United States issued orders preventing us from trading securities or accessing funds in our bank accounts. Until these freeze orders are lifted or modified, our business is effectively and at least temporarily frozen as well. So they are saying that until this locked up funds that CFTC has laid embargo on, until they release it, it means their business is also temporarily closed. We will be reaching out to the regulators to discuss their concerns, and the first court date to determine whether the freeze orders should be lifted or modified is currently scheduled for September 11th in the US. So they are telling us it's true that they are going to court on the September 11th, with another hearing later that same week in Canada. So the court case is two, because the companies are two. One is in Canada, another is in US. So they have two different court cases. Go to Canada, go to US. We hope to have this matter resolved as soon as possible, and we'll update this message as events occur. This is what this is what my Forex fund has to say to us. I share their pain. I share in their pain. Maybe I should put it that way. Sorry. My Forex fund, sorry. We pray that things go on well. And then don't you share in their pains, please? Don't you? Let me know at the comment section. I'm done. I'll see you in another video. But please, I'm sure you have learned a lot from this. This is what this page is all about. This YouTube channel is all. We are here to give you the right information. So stay with us always. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. My name is Kofi, your admin for Leading Forex YouTube channel. I'll see you again. Until then, take very good care of yourself. But when the money drops, when I hear that CFTC has won, and for that matter, all money should be returned, I'll get back to you and tell you how to get your money. Yeah, I will, for sure. So be on this channel, all right? Thank you.